Budget chimp, a man who thrives on hurling crap at others, yet crumbles at the slightest whiff of it directed back at him. Psychology has a few useful terms for this pattern, and when put together, they sketch the portrait of someone like him. Projection. This is the classic move. Unresolved insecurities get offloaded onto others. His obsession with mocking people while refusing to show his own face suggests he's externalizing what he hates about himself. By attacking, he temporarily shifts the spotlight away from his own inadequacies. 2. Narcissistic fragility. Narcissists often seem bold and arrogant, but underneath lies glass-thin skin. They lash out to feel in control, but when criticism boomerangs back, they can't handle it. Budget chimp's extreme sensitivity to even the tiniest comment is a textbook case of this fragility. 3. Cowardice and anonymity. Anonymity is his security blanket. Hiding behind memes, faceless avatars, and juvenile Photoshop is his way of avoiding accountability. He can fling mud endlessly, but showing his face or speaking in his own voice would strip away the illusion of power. 4. Compulsive attention seeking. There's also what psychologists call negative attention seeking. When someone lacks meaningful connections or purpose, even hostile responses feel rewarding because they confirm existence. He might be lonely. Mockery becomes his substitute for human connection. 5. Possible trauma or mental health issues. If it's true that he spent time in a mental institute, that hints at deeper struggles, maybe paranoia, social anxiety, or other untreated issues. His obsession with controlling narratives could stem from an underlying fear of being powerless or abandoned. Why trolling specifically? Because trolling requires no courage, no talent, and no accountability. It gives the illusion of control without the cost of risk. In the basement, clutching a Ken doll named Josh, he can create a world where he's the one mocking, not mocked. But it's a house of cards, hence why even mild pushback rattles him to the core. So is it self-consciousness? Yes. Loneliness? Almost certainly. Fear? Without a doubt. He trolls because it's the only stage where he feels like he matters, yet the irony is that every jab only makes his fragility more obvious. Now, let's frame this as a psychological profile, shall we? Case study, The Curious Condition of Budget Chimp, filed under Armchair Psychiatry, Basement Zoology, and the Psychology of the Perpetually Butthurt. Patient alias Budget Chimp, also known as a low-budget mental case. Known habits: crapping on others, hiding behind silly memes, clutching a Ken doll named Josh while mumbling mockeries in a dim basement. Presenting symptoms: unrelenting focus on others' lives, zero courage to reveal his own. Severe sensitivity to even the faintest whiff of criticism. Diagnosis 1, projection disorder, PD. Subject consistently attributes his own flaws to others. Example: mocks others for weakness while hiding his own face, mocks others' speech while never daring to use his own voice. Classic projection. An insecure man's mirror, cracked by envy. Diagnosis 2, narcissistic fragility syndrome, NFS. Outward bravado, inner paper-thin skin. Patient lashes out with smug memes and smart-ass jokes, yet collapses into shrieks of butthurt hysteria when others return the favor. Symptoms include excessive whining, cowardly retreat, and hiding behind keyboard armor. Diagnosis 3, cowardice via anonymity, CVA. Patient avoids accountability by living faceless and voiceless, sustained only by the illusion of control. Engages in trolling as a substitute for real presence. Relies heavily on avatars of chimps, as showing his actual face would destroy the fragile fantasy. Diagnosis 4, negative attention dependency, NAD. Patient thrives on provoking responses, attention, even hostile, functions as oxygen for his otherwise purposeless existence, displays symptoms of loneliness and desperation, often confused with bravery, but more accurately described as cowardice with Wi-Fi. Possible contributing factor. Rumored history of institutionalization suggests untreated trauma or deeper disorders, manifesting as compulsive ridicule and obsessive fixation on others. Likely stems from fear of rejection and a profound emptiness when not trolling. Treatment plan. Recommend daylight exposure and human interaction not mediated by memes. Introduce concept of accountability in small doses. Replace Ken doll with actual social contact. Suggest a course of humility, repentance, and perhaps a job outside the basement. Prognosis. Guarded, patient likely to relapse into trolling at the first sign of criticism. However, exposure to truth tellers, James Rory, thick shades, etc., may accelerate either total collapse or eventual confrontation with reality. Conclusion. Budget Chimp is not merely the most butthurt of the Butthurt Crew. He is their crown jewel, a fragile king in a cardboard castle, forever flinging muck from behind a mask, yet terrified of the day his own reflection stares back.